You're listening to a Frequency Podcast Network production.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
This is the Brock and Dalby Podcast.
Welcome to Tuesday. My name is Brock.
I'm Dalby.
It's a weird week because there's absolutely no sports minus baseball on right now.
Right, because the playoffs for hockey and basketball are both later in the week.
NBA finals start on Thursday, I think. NHL playoffs or Stanley Cup finals start on Saturday.
We're in the void.
Which I will say, enjoy these last few weeks of basketball and hockey. I mean, the CFL starting. We learned today that nobody gives a fuck about that. You'll hear that later in the podcast.
Yes.
But this is just a prequel on how boring summer sports are. After hockey and basketball ends, I know there's a lot of people that are like, why are they playing hockey so late in the season?
Yeah.
Enjoy it, dude. Enjoy it. There's nothing after this.
It's true that these are sort of hanging on to our last hurrahs. You're in the golden times before they're gone, but I also still just cannot get as excited about a hockey game on, it'll be June 24th for Game 7. That's going to feel so fucked up compared to watching it in even April.
Dude, if we could have more summer hockey, I'm down for that. The only other thing I care about is I don't know, the ESPN 8 the Ocho week that they do. I don't even know when that is anymore.
Lumberjack sports are coming, baby. You just got to stay up later.
It's that and Shark Week is the only things you have to look forward to because the Jays are absolute dog shit.
Well, I got a couple of free teen burgers from them this year.
You won't be getting too many more.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
Last year, the CFL, in a big effort to get more people to watch the Grey Cup, somehow got Green Day to perform at the halftime show.
And somehow people were still not happy when that announcement was made.
Surprisingly, yesterday, the CFL already announced this year's halftime show. Did you see the announcement?
No. I honestly, I know it's June, but I don't start paying attention to the CFL for at least another few weeks.
You want to know?
Well, sure.
This year's CFL halftime Grey Cup show.
It's Metallica.
The Jonas Brothers.
Damn, I was close. The Jonas Brothers?
I don't know, man.
Are they even together? I thought they weren't even a thing anymore.
I mean, I grew up, as a kid when, the Jonas Brothers were on Disney and all that stuff. I haven't heard of them in years. Yeah. I didn't know they were still a thing, to be honest with you.
Had no idea.
How do you go from Green Day to that, though?
Can I say something that maybe is going to sound a little bit crazy? It's an upgrade.
Is it?
For the purposes, people are already typing, I can hear it.
I don't understand what you're going for.
For the purposes of what the halftime show at a major football game is supposed to do,
okay,
it is an upgrade because the average CFL fan probably already was watching the game and likes Green Day, whereas Jonas Brothers will draw eyes that wouldn't normally watch the Grey Cup.
I guess.
I
feel like the Green Day has a bigger fan base than the Jonas Brothers, right?
I don't think that's true.
Really?
Jonas Brothers were a huge pop act, man. Rock acts, even at the upper echelon, don't touch
10 years
pop
ago
acts.
when people were 12.
Right. Nostalgia. We talk about it all the time. If the Jonas Brothers, which again, I'm not sure, but I feel have not done much in a while, if this is them coming out, getting back together, doing something for the first time in a good while, you're going to have a ton of, Joe Bros coming out to watch it.
I don't know. I can't get behind it. My thing is I am a CFL fan.
Yes.
I like the CFL. I was mind-blown because the Grey Cup's in BC this year, but also on Sunday, or not Sunday, next week when the BC Lions have their home opener,
sure,
they have 50 Cent playing the halftime show.
Oh, sick.
I feel like that's a bigger get for your home opener than the halftime show of the Grey Cup, is it not?
No.
50 Cent, I feel like, draws in more eyes than the Jonas Brothers.
In 2024, I don't think that's true.
What?
I don't think that's true. What is
You're talking about nostalgia. I feel like 50 Cent gives more nostalgia to people than the Jonas Brothers does.
But I think at their peak, I think the Jonas Brothers were bigger than 50 Cent was.
What?
Yeah, man.
No way, dude.
I think we need to look up some album sales and charting and stuff like that.
I don't know.
I think that you are discounting the Jonas Brothers in a way that might not be fair to them.
I just hate that the CFL has to try this hard for their halftime shows because because nobody's watching the Grey Cup, man. Like, does anybody actually even watch the CFL? I only watch it because my grandpa was a big Ticats fan. We used to go to Iverwin Stadium all the time. But it's like, other than when I lived in Saskatchewan and Winnipeg, nobody gives a crap about the Canadian Football League.
I can remember working in radio in British Columbia and trying to talk about like BC Lions games, and people calling in to be like, we don't care.
Yeah.
Outside of Saskatchewan, it's tough. But that's just it. Maybe instead of hiring 50 Cent to do your home opener or the Jonas Brothers to do your halftime show, spend that money on marketing the game.
Yeah.
I feel like people just don't even know that the season's about to start.
Well, every time I tell people that I'm a CFL fan and I just get like made fun of, it's almost like it's like being like an indie music fan or you know, like an indie movie fan or something. You know what I mean? You're like very niche kind of thing.
Well,
like,
yeah, I mean, it's safe to say if you're a CFL fan, you liked it before it was cool.
And you know what? I'm not going to be that guy, but most CFL fans always try to justify why the football is better.
Yeah.
They're like the guy at the urinal having a competition. They're like, we've got bigger balls. We've got a bigger field. We only need 3 downs.
Yeah, and it's like, I don't know, man. If the football was that great, I feel like people would just watch it. You don't have to tell me about it. Let the game speak for itself.
Yeah.
You don't need to have 50 Cent at your home opener. Just tell me there's a cool football game happening.
Yeah, it's like the dude who's trying to brag about his girlfriend all the time or whatever.
Like, listen, you just don't know her. She goes to a different school. Not a lot of people have met her, but she's really cool.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
I want to do something.
Okay.
Since we've been talking about 50 Cent in the Jonas Brothers.
Two classic artists on this station.
I want to play a game with you this morning.
Is that the Family Feud in the background?
I call it. Is it 50 Cent or the Jonas Brothers?
Oh, no.
I'm going to give you song titles, okay? All right?
Sure.
And you have to tell me, is it a 50 Cent song?
Yeah.
Or is it a Jonas Brothers song?
It's perfect that one of them is 50 Cent because these are all going to be a coin toss for me.
All right. This one should be easy to figure out right off the bat.
Sure.
Just a softball question. I'm supposed to die tonight. Is that 50 Cent or the Jonas Brothers?
So everything in my soul says 50 Cent, but I always feel like you're trying to trap me. But I'm going to go with my gut and say 50.
Yeah, that's 50
Okay,
Cent.
here we go.
All right.
Here we go.
1 for 1 there. When I say Waffle House, would you say that's 50 Cent or the Jonas Brothers?
I just feel like the Jonas Brothers would get beat up in a Waffle House. Huh. I'll say the Jonas Brothers.
That is a Jonas Brothers song.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
When I say Keep It Real, you would say 50 Cent or the Jonas Brothers? Keep It Real.
Jonas Brothers.
Yeah, that's a Jonas.
Wow! Oh, I knew you were trying to trap me on that one.
When I say Back Down, is that a 50 Cent or a Jonas Brothers song?
I mean, I don't know. I know 50 Cent don't back down. But did he do? I'll say 50 Cent.
That's 50 Cent.
Wow, I am killing this.
There you go. You know your Jonas Brothers and your 50 Cent.
That's right.
When I say Things Change, is that 50 Cent or Jonas Brothers?
50 Cent.
That's 50
Really?
Cent. World War III, 50 Cent or Jonas Brothers? What do you got?
50 Cent. No, I thought there was no way you were just going to back and forth.
If you had got that one right, I'm like, you're low-key a Jonas Brothers and a 50 Cent fan.
What are the Jonas Brothers singing about World War III?
Finally, fully loaded clip. Is that the Jonas Brothers or is it 50 Cent?
I am 100% going based on the smile on your dumb face when you ask me that. I think you're trying to trick me, and I think it's the Jonas Brothers.
No. I wish it was, dude. I don't know what that song was.
I want to hear Fully Loaded clip by the Jonas Brothers.
It's
I don't even know
actually
what it
from the
sounds
Disney
like.
Channel original movie Camp Rock.
Wait, were they in that?
Stop pretending, bro. We all learned this
I
morning.
know
You're like
my Jonas Brothers, you say, but you know they're Disney originals?
I grew up when the Jonas Brothers were on the Disney Channel. You're the one advocating for them, bro.
From a marketing standpoint.
Sure, bud. Sure.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
I don't know if this is out of line or if I'm even allowed to ask this. would you give me a massage at some point today?
Would I give you a massage?
My neck's killing me, dude.
Okay, see, that's... Hey.
I slept so bad last night. I can't move past my shoulder there.
I hate that feeling.
Are you allowed to ask coworkers if you can get it?
I think it really depends.
You want to rub me down, boss?
No, I was going to say, I feel like it depends. One, how you ask. You went about it in a very professional, very cautious, very casual way. That's good. Had you said, can you rub me down later? We have to go down the hall and we have to have a meeting.
Yeah. Are you openly, I know that's a thing that happens, right?
Sure.
Like creepy dudes and stuff at work.
Yeah, gross people. But I feel like there are some, normal people with actual pain. And I think it depends on the coworker.
Is it an HR problem if you're, rubbing me? Is that a thing?
No, if you say my neck hurts, can you, and I'm like, oh, I can try and fix that for you. We are then consenting adults not doing anything out of the ordinary. It's not weird.
Yeah.
It's if you're like, oh man, my neck hurts, and all of a sudden I just sidle up behind you. I'm like, let me get that.
Start
for you.
kissing my neck or something.
If both sides are on board, I think it's fine. It's only if one side takes the initiative without asking the other.
Yeah.
Which, to be fair, that covers a lot more than just a massage at work. That's just that's life.
Yeah. Could you ask a stranger for a massage?
100% you can.
Yeah.
Should you?
Probably not.
Choose your own adventure. It depends on the stranger. Right? There's a difference based on even just visually.
Because how many times are you just out in public and you're like, oh, my shoulder's killing me or whatever, and how would you act if someone just turned to you and was like, would you mind just getting in there for a second?
You mind just digging into my shoulder?
Would you be down with that? Hence who it is, I guess.
You know what? I'm not going to lie, and maybe this is not the best thing to admit, but we all have biases inside of us. I'm absolutely going to give the person the old once-over up and down. Also, where am I? What are we doing? Are we in the food court at the mall? Are we out at the park somewhere? There are a lot of factors, and I think it's maybe a 1 to 2 out of 10 situation where I go, all right, stranger, come on over here and get the elbow in. You know what I'm talking about? What about you? Would you massage a stranger?
Probably not. I mean, it most definitely depends on who it is.
Yeah.
If Brad Pitt was just standing in front of me and he was like, hey, you want to rub my shoulders? I'd be like, absolutely, sir.
Can I be honest with you? If it's Brad Pitt, I think I say no, because I assume that I'm on some sort of prank show and I would like to not participate.
Oh, I assume that if I rub his shoulders, I'm his number one guy after that.
What if you don't do a good job?
Well, then it doesn't work out.
Now you've upset Brad Pitt.
You put a knot in him or something?
I would rather Brad Pitt not know who I am than risk having him be upset with me.
In general, giving someone a massage is actually the most annoying thing of all time.
Nobody likes giving a massage. There are very few situations. I don't know, if you have if you're dating someone and they're sitting in your lap and you're watching a show, just rubbing their shoulders is fine.
Yeah, if you know you're gonna get some after or something.
Is are you a strictly
it's usually leading somewhere, I'm not gonna lie.
It's strictly transactional for you?
Unless it's at work.
So I was gonna say
just need to clarify.
So wait, if I come over there and rub your neck, what am I getting?
I feel in a relationship, and tell me if I'm wrong, 762-555.
Yeah, fair question.
90% of the time, a massage usually leads to something else.
I would say that there are a lot of times where it does lead to something else. I think the real question is...
Or we think it's going to lead somewhere.
Will you only do it if you think it's going somewhere?
Yes.
Is there such thing as a just friendly massage?
Being in a relationship in general is doing things that you don't want to do.
Right.
Because you care for someone or you're hoping to get a little action. Right? How many times do you just BS when you're starting to date someone just so you can, does that make me sound like a terrible person? Or
romance is dead.
But honesty is always here on this show.
Hey, that's actually true.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
So we started the show by asking people, if you're in a relationship, and you give your significant other a massage, are you looking for the nookie?
Right.
And pretty much a resounding yes. Someone texted in and said works 90% of the time, every time.
I thought, because I was going to say, like, I don't mind giving my partner a massage. If she's like sitting in my lap, I'll rub her shoulders. I like that feeling. But I didn't want to say, because I didn't want it to sound like I was trying to angle for like the good guy.
It is what it is, brother.
And now I feel worse because everyone else is like, no, we doing this to get laid.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's the instant move in. We did get a text in here from Rebecca who said, I'm a massage therapist, 100% agree with what you're saying, but as a massage therapist, it sucks that no one actually ever wants to give me a massage.
True. Oh my, because everybody in the room is like, well, you're the expert. Mm-hmm. You should rub my shoulders.
Well, even like, yeah, that's got to be so annoying just to be out places. And you know this girl's got friends that are like, oh, my rotator cuff is just bugging me so bad.
I just wish that I could do something to like release my lower back a little bit. It's just really not saying anybody in this room or anything.
Yeah, I think depending on what line of work you're in, sometimes your friends can take advantage of you. And like, I mean, no disrespect to some of our buddies, but we have people that like, so there's that concert coming up?
Dude, my favorite thing in the world is to get a text or like a DM somewhere from admittedly from a friend. But then I look at our like conversation history and it's like, we haven't spoken in 2 years.
It's been a hot minute, yeah.
You comment on my stuff on Facebook. We like each other's Instagram posts. You are not in a position to be asking me to go to that hot show coming up in Toronto.
What profession do you think gets asked for the most on the side favors? I mean, the massage one for sure. I mean, even if you're a doctor.
I was going to say.
Yeah.
I feel like
Can you look at this real quick?
Probably a doctor, especially in these modern times, right? Where so many people don't have a family doctor or whatever. Let's just invite our doctor friend over for brunch and then be like, oh, by the way, this is growing on me. Can you look at it?
I mean, in general, like anyone who works in the trades, like any sort of contractor or anything. Like,
oh, for sure. Yeah.
I've got a plethora of buddies that I call over when something goes wrong at my old ass house.
See, but that's what's good about you, and I know that you do this, is you keep up the appearances with those people even in times when you don't need the thing.
I like to be the guy that has a guy, you know what I mean?
Right,
yeah.
and there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with having a Rolodex full of people you can call on in your time of need. But like a garden, you have to tend the flowers all year round.
You gotta have a buddy who's an electrician, you gotta have a buddy who's a plumber, you gotta have a buddy who's a mechanic. Like.
Or if you want to go the low maintenance route, like I do, you need to have a buddy who has all those.
Yeah, you
buddies.
gotta have a guy who has a guy.
I call you when
Yeah.
I need somebody and hope that you can do me a favor.
I don't know why I'm thinking of this. Do you think anyone who's friends with a dentist is ever like, hey, take a look at my eye?
I was just wondering if you could just look at the back right here real quick, because it feels like it's not in the right spot. Oh, do you think golf pros get hit up all the time? Like people who work at golf courses?
Oh, yeah, probably.
Do you think it's ever like, hey, me and you should go for a round sometime? I mean, I know you get it for free.
Brother, I have friends that have memberships. You got to get in where you can, man.
We are learning a lot about you today.
This is the Brock and Delby Podcast.
You know, something we haven't talked about yet is the fact that June is actually Mental Health Awareness Month.
That's true.
Yeah. And specifically for men, a big thing is just not talking about things in general.
It's tough because, like, so many generations of men were raised that it's like it's weak to show your emotions. You just put your head down and you push forward and things will be fine.
And I don't want to be like those two guys on the radio that are just, I don't know, doing like PSA type talk. Like I wish we had like I wish the Macho Man Randy Savage was still alive to do a PSA for Mental Health Awareness Month. With that being said, I kind of want to try something.
Okay.
You know you gotta drink more water because it's good for you. Oh, yeah.
Well, brother, you're going to want to get some 8 hours of sleep every night. It helps reset your brain.
You gotta focus on the positive, yeah. Get the negatives, will make you not dig it. Remember, when you're in the danger zone, you don't step out, you dig in and fight, oh yeah.
Take some time every day, look yourself in the mirror, look yourself up and down and tell yourself, that man right there, that man's enough.
You gotta talk about your problems. Ooh, yeah. If you don't, they'll rise to the top.
You hold it inside, brother. It's gonna eat you up. It's gonna take you out like an elbow drop from the top rope. Oh, yeah. Get it off your chest.
Talk to your brothers, brother.
Unless it's that dirty snake Hulk Hogan.
Seriously, talk to your brothers, all right? Check in on each other.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
What would be the coolest building that exists right now to tear down, or not to tear down, to convert into somewhere to live? I saw this real estate listing, which now I'm looking on like the realtor websites, and it doesn't appear to still be up. But for a period of time, a school in Napanee, Ontario, H.H. Langford School, was being listed as for sale.
How much was it going for?
I think when I saw it, it was about $1.2 million. And I'm like, wow, what would you do with a school? But in the listing that I saw, they were listing it as being a 12-bedroom, 2-bathroom domicile because they were counting each classroom
as a room,
as a bedroom. And I'm just thinking, like, that would be such a weird thing to buy, to have people, you come on in through the front door, pick a room, any room.
I think the weirdest would be the bathrooms because all the urinals would be smaller.
True.
Right? You got if it's an old school, it's got that weird sink where you got to press your foot down on it, the circular one.
Honestly, even just the idea of having an open style, like, school bathroom in your home.
Yeah.
Like, you have a bunch of people over, you're watching the Super Bowl. A couple people are like, I have to go to the bathroom. Like, oh yeah, it's down the hall, third door on the right. Choose your own urinal. It's great. There's a women's washroom on the other side of the house.
That'd be terrifying, being home alone, being in the bathroom, and then hearing someone else open the door or something. Oh my God. But I mean, having a gymnasium in your own house would probably be pretty nice.
What would you do with it? Would you use it for, like,
dude, ball is life, dude.
Just in there balling out?
Oh yeah.
There's so much space. Would you bring in, like, you could bring in workout equipment? Ooh, do you think it would still have the, like, jungle gym? You know those schools where the jungle gym, like, folded up against the wall, the old wood ones? Have that come out? You would get in trouble living in a place like that if you had friends over and started drinking.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
The amount of things you could get up to.
Either that or the gymnasium just turns into your storage. Like, it's one of those things where you're like, yeah, I'm going to work out, and you buy an elliptical and just leave it in there for like 10 years.
Using a full-on school gymnasium is like where you just keep your stuff. Sounds like the beginning of a Hoarders episode.
Yeah.
You could fit you'd never throw anything out.
Owning a school would actually be pretty nice. It'd be that, and if you could convert like an old fire hall.
Oh.
Just on the sole basis of having the pole.
Of course, it's just the pole.
That's the only reason, man.
That's the only reason to buy a firehouse and turn it into a home, so you can live upstairs, and in the morning when it's time to go to work, you slide down the pole.
That'd be so awesome.
There's just something great about, like, right now, firefighter, full gear, slides down the pole, gets into a fire truck, goes to save the day. Here's you putting on your, like, skater clothes, your Limp Bizkit Misfits t-shirt, sliding down the pole and jumping in a Chevy Trax.
Hey, there's more than just firefighters that slide on poles, brother. I mean, think about it. You could convert a strip club into a pretty sick pad, if you ask me. I
don't know about that. I honestly, now you've got a big stage in your living room.
I just want to see what happens behind the curtains there. I've never been... I want to see what the locker room looks like.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
Quentin hit us up at 762-555, and I think this is the best suggestion. He just said a movie theater, like a Cineplex or something. He said you keep the screens, you keep the arcade, the popcorn maker, all that kind of stuff.
Honestly.
Soundproof walls on top of that.
Well, that's what I was going to say. It was like you convert, if you're in, like, if it's like a multiplex, lots of screens, like each one could be a bedroom. Mm-hmm. Obviously, you take the IMAX for your master bedroom.
Yeah.
Take out most of the seating in there, put your bed and your clothes and all that other stuff. And then, yeah, like, you can invite people over. We could go to the guest room and watch a movie. We could play in the arcade. And even if you didn't use the popcorn maker, everybody knows those movie theaters, that smell of popcorn just lives in the walls.
Oh, absolutely.
You'd never need a Febreze or a Bath and Body Works the rest of your life.
Yeah.
You've already got the best smell.
Now, there's a few people on the text line that are saying that they've purchased an old church and either reconverted it into a house or bought it from someone who did reconvert it into a house. And the church thing, like, I don't know. That always feels weird to me, man. Like, I don't know.
I like the old church architecture.
The stained glass, it's beautiful.
Right.
It is beautiful.
The structure is beautiful. It's a very intriguing place to live.
I watch too many scary movies, bro.
I mean, you're just asking for an exorcism, right? Like, you're begging to be possessed by moving into it. Especially because if you don't live to the absolute utmost ideals of the church, you are sinning on sacred ground now.
Dude, I once saw when we were first looking at houses a few years ago, I saw there was like an old morgue that was for sale. That was like converted. A morgue. Yeah.
Oh.
So, like, people live in all these different sorts of things. Churches and morgues, like, I don't know, man. Like,
there's no way. The morgue thing, you could not convince me. Like, I know that people don't die at the morgue. They're brought there in that condition. Can't do it. No, absolutely no way. I put my head to pillow on a nightly basis in the same spot we used to keep murder victims.
I don't mind backing onto a graveyard, but, like, I don't know, dude.
I did like this text here that came in from Mark, who said an old police station would be hilarious because you could lock up your friends when they come over if they get out of hand.
Oh, that would be awesome.
Invite everybody over for a party. Someone spills on the carpet because they're too drunk. You're just like, all right, buddy, you're going in lockdown.
Yeah.
Your wife can come and get you in the morning.
You got that buddy that wants to drive home or something?
Yeah.
Taking your keys, dude.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
Ed's word of the day.
See what he's got.
Good morning. Today's word, apple knockers. Yep, apple knockers. APPLE-KNOCER. K-A-E-R, whatever. Anyways, an ignorant or boorish person. Not someone you like to have at a party. Anyways, that's about it. Have a great one. Cheers, up.
Is that a real, like, is that in a dictionary?
It is. So what it is it is about an ignorant or a boorish person, but what it's referring to is the idea that apple picking is such an easy job that any dummy could do it. So it's basically like, it's almost like an insult to like farmers. When you're like, you're nothing but a dumb apple picker.
Oh my God.
Apple knocker.
Can we make apple knockers a bigger thing for when like September comes around because Courtney always wants to go picking apples? Dude,
I don't know if it's a good idea.
If we start spreading this around, I think a lot of us won't be dragged out to these orchards
to go apple knocking,
wasting a ton of money to go pick apples when we can go to the grocery store and get them.
I just don't know if it's the right play for you to start calling your girlfriend an apple knocker.
Oh, I'm not saying call my girlfriend. I'm saying just like, start getting it around and then word will get to her.
She doesn't want to become an apple knocker.
Yeah, exactly.
I see what you're saying.
You know what I mean? You got to lay some groundwork, and then by the time September comes, we're not all going to the orchards. If only you could figure out another terminology so we don't have to take those stupid photos and throw the leaves in the air, too.
Oh, the fall fairs, the fall photos. Yeah. Have you just tried telling her you don't want to?
That doesn't matter. My opinions do not matter, dude. Apple knocker, apple knocker, apple knocker. Just use it.
Just spread it around.
Just spread it around.
So that Brock doesn't have to go apple picking.
This isn't just about me. I know there's a bunch of other people nodding their heads right now.
There are other dudes that are just like putting their fists to their chest like, yeah, bro.
Who wants to spend $25 on 7 apples, bro?
Bro, you're not spending $25 on 7 apples. You're spending $25 on a lifetime of memories.
I can go to Metro for free, dude.
For more Brock and Dalby, tune in weekday mornings 5:30 to 9.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast is brought to you by badshop.ca, the Brock and Dalby merch store, with all proceeds going to the Canadian Cancer Society.